guys, welcome to VamaLove. We're so glad you joined our page today, and sorry I'm alone today. I didn't have my husband with me here, but I wanted to share something with the ladies, especially because I realized I was actually this came from somewhere. So I was having a Bible study with one of my homegirls, and we were just diving into scripture, and we had this very fruitful conversation. And out of that, I felt like, you know what, I think we need to talk about this with my girls on this platform. I think it's something that I think is worth sharing, because we put ourselves under a lot of pressure, especially when it comes to marriage and what a wife looks like exactly. And I think the question that a lot of us have is, what is this wife standard based on God, the godly wife standard kind of thing? Like, how is a wife really supposed to be by the standard of God and all of that? And that's what my homegirl and I were talking about. And we of course went into the scripture that almost everybody and wherever you go, when they talk to wives and what they're supposed to do, they talk about, and that's the Proverbs 31 woman. So I'm just here with my Bible, and I was just going through just before we started shooting, and one of the things that I just wanted to highlight is, when you look at this wife that they're describing, the title says a wife of noble character. So a lot of us, when we read this thing, it just sounds like a lot of work. Like, wait, she has to wake up early, she has to go and trade in the city, she has to do this and that. Like, there's so many things that they talk about that when we look at our standard and in this world that we are living in, it just seems like, man, that's a lot. I cannot be that. Even I look at it and I'm like, man, I ain't gonna do all of that. It just seems impossible to do as one person, to fulfill all of those duties. And sometimes it has put a lot of us off to say, you know what, I can't fulfill that standard, so maybe I'm not a good wife, or maybe I cannot make a good wife in the future, maybe I'm not sought out for this kind of thing. But there was something very comforting that we came to understand as we continue to study the scripture. So I'm not going to read all of it, but then verse 10, Proverbs 31:10 says, a wife of noble character, who can find her? She is far more than rubies. So then it begins to describe this wife of noble character. So if you continue to read in your spare time, please look at it. And it talks about how the husband has confidence in her. She brings food, she does business, she goes out and, does work in the nighttime. Like, there's so much going on. But then when you go down towards the end, that's where my comfort comes in, and that's what I want to share with you today, especially is from verse 29. She says, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. So I'm like, wait, they were just describing how women are doing noble things, how this woman is doing all of these noble things. So her waking up in the morning, going out in the night to do business and, selling things, doing merchant work, providing for the home, doing all of those things, those are noble things. But then it says, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. So how can you surpass somebody who's doing all of these noble things? And it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. What do I get from all of that? That all of these noble things that this woman is doing is applaudable, it's wonderful, it's beautiful. But they say at the end that even if you are able to achieve all of these noble things, but you as a woman do not have the fear of God, you've pretty much canceled out your nobility on the standard of the Bible of a good wife. And that's what I want to share with us today. Like, the first priority, the first thing on our list to be good wives, to be good women, to be fearful women, is to have the fear of God. So maybe you've been marking yourself based on the nobility that they've mentioned about this woman, but maybe what you need to check yourself again is, the first and most important thing should be, do you have the fear of God? As a prospective wife, as a future wife, as a wife right now, as a newlywed, as somebody preparing to get married, at whatever stage that you, as a single who is thinking about getting married in the future, do you have the fear of God? And that's what we want to encourage today. Like, yes, maybe you can't wake up too early. Yes, you're not doing any business. Yes, you don't wake up, you don't go out and do business in the night, you don't provide all of these things they're talking about. But the question still stands, do you have the fear of God? So remember, on this platform, we are talking about godly, healthy relationships. So for you to have a godly and healthy relationship, it all starts with the relationship that you have with God. So this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time that you're listening to me at, I hope that you will just go back in your secluded place, in your corner, and just check, like, maybe I've been hard on myself because I can't do all of that, but do I have the fear of God? That's all we wanted to share with you today. Have a lovely time, and God bless you.